Welcome my constant reader friends. I'm Tad and this is Tad Reads Books and Stuff. Alright, well, today is Super Bowl Sunday. Can't wait to watch that game tonight. I really don't have a dog in this fight. I like both teams pretty much. But maybe Kansas City because I love Taylor Swift. That's a joke. Anyways, it's funny because my girlfriend, her daughter's name is Montana, and she is actually named after Joe Montana, of course, famous 49ers quarterback. So I think she's going to be pulling for the 49ers. I don't know. But anyways, get off the Super Bowl. What do we got going this week? Well, I did finish Rememberings by Sinead O'Connor. This is the book we're going to be talking about. Also, we're still continuing with, Harrow County, Omnibus 2. We only have 4 more chapters left of this, and we'll be done. So in about 2 weeks, you're going to see the final installment for Harrow County, and we will be announcing the next graphic novel that we will be reading with the marvelous team up with myself and Graz from the GKBC. So look forward to that. And of course, I've got my other books that I'm going to be reading for the rest of February. Now, I'm going to start Peripheral by William Gibson, but I think I'm going to read 2 books at a time because I think I can go ahead and read Bert Breen's Barn. It's a YA book. So I think I'm going to start reading both of those since we have a short month in February. I'm trying to get these all done in February, and then I'll do Ronin, a Visions novel from Star Wars last. So that's what we've got going. All right, let's start talking about Rememberings by Sinead O'Connor. Her beautiful bald head on the front there, and then, of course, a nice, beautiful picture of her when she was young. There are pictures throughout this book. Really interesting pictures and really interesting story. So let's get the numbers out of the way. This was published in June of 2021, and it has 289 pages. On Goodreads, it currently has a 4.1 rating, and I gave it 4 stars myself. I very much enjoyed reading this, although it was difficult. Very sad. My girlfriend was like, "Are you crying?" And I'm like, "Yeah." Almost right from page 1, it was sad. What a life. I've seen some people say, "Oh, I don't believe any of it," but I've read even crazier stuff before, so I do believe a lot of it. Although she does mention, look, I'm not an author. I'm not a writer. I write songs. So this is her attempt at writing, I don't know. I don't want to call it an autobiography. It's not an autobiography. It doesn't go, like from childbirth through to, the time that she wrote this. It's more of a memoir, and I think that's what most people are calling it, a memoir. But it's even, I don't even know if it's even, it's almost like short vignettes, little essays of periods in her life. Now, she's had a lot of issues. She had some medical issues, some physical issues, definitely some mental issues, and she admits that her memory isn't the greatest, and there's even chunks of her life that she can't remember and honestly doesn't want to remember. So she doesn't think it's necessarily a bad thing that she can't remember. So what does that do with this book? Well, it makes it not really truly an autobiography. It does start in a chronological order. It starts with her younger and goes up to the point where she writes this book. But it does I don't want to say it jumps around. It doesn't like, oh, all of a sudden she's 12 and then all of a sudden she's 39, anything like that. It does, like I said, kind of go in an order, but even within those chapters or those essays or vignettes, she kind of jumps around some a little bit too. I get the impression she kind of mentions that some of it was just spoken. She would just record it, tell a story and record it, and then, that's how she wrote it. So that's fine. I didn't mind it. I have seen some people, say that they don't like the book because of that, because it's not, strict autobiography, chronologically told, and just sometimes she goes off on a tangent talking about something else. But I kind of liked it. It was her. It's her voice. She talks about singing as you have to sing your voice. There's some crazy stuff in here. What is it really all about? Well, we know that Sinead passed away in 2023. She was only 56 years old. She was born December 8th, 1966, and passed away July 26th, 2023. She has 4 children, and she talks about it. Again, she's totally honest. That's Sinead, right? In your face and totally honest. She had 4 children by 4 different men. She was married 3 times, I believe. Her first child, she actually was married to the father, but not for long. They kind of did it because they thought that you have a kid, you're supposed to get married. And she was only 20 years old. Shoot, she had the baby, what did she say, 3 weeks before her first album came out. So she was only 20 years old when she had her first child. She was, I think, 40 when she had her 4th child. Interesting life. But yeah, what is this story really about, though? Again, not an exact autobiography. She uses these vignettes, these stories, and these memories. That's why it's called rememberings. What she can remember of these different periods of her life and how they really affected her life, and how all these things going on in her life and society affected her and kind of made her who she was. She talks a lot about the war and violence in Ireland, growing up in Ireland, and struggling just to even survive sometimes in Ireland. She talks about the struggles that she's had with, for, and against religions of all kinds. She talks about music, of course. Music is really, I think, the overarching theme in this book. Music and her absolute love for music, and feeling that music is how she expressed herself, because I don't think she could any other way. She had issues with temper. She had issues with violence. She had issues with drugs. She had issues with sex. And she talks about when she first was recording her first studio album, the record company asking her to maybe grow her hair a little bit longer and style it a little different. Stop being such a tomboy and wear some sexier, more revealing clothes. Yeah, no, not Sinead. So she went out immediately and shaved her head, and then pretty much shaved her head most of her life. She did wear some wigs sometimes, but shaved her head and she loved her boots, her Doc Martens, her torn jeans. She says she's a punk rocker. She's not a pop icon. They were trying to make her a pop icon. Some people still call her a pop icon. She says she's a punk. And, torn t-shirts and leather jackets, things like that. Looked like she, purchased her clothes from Salvation Army or I don't know, Army surplus stores, things like that. But that was her, and she did not appreciate them telling her to look more like a girl. This is a weird thing. She does talk about in here that she 100% is a girl. She's a woman. But she wishes, not like the transgender way, but she wishes she was a man. She wholeheartedly believes, I agree with her, that men have it easier in this world. So she dressed kind of like a man. She acted like a man. She didn't take shit from anybody. There's a story about her with Nothing Compares to You, which of course was written by Prince, and Prince calling her to his house and them getting into a fight and chasing. Crazy story, which kind of makes me sad because I'm a Prince fan. I'm a huge Sinead fan, but I'm a Prince fan, and she had this thing with Prince. And even though her most popular song of all time was written by Prince, she has a beef, ongoing battle with Miley Cyrus, which I love Miley Cyrus. I don't know, it's weird. But yeah, she really talks about how she kind of wants to be a man, but isn't a man at all. So I don't know. Is that coming across kind of weird? You got to kind of read it. And the big things in this book too. Racism was a huge issue that she fought against. Child abuse, number one. That's why she tore up the picture of the Pope on Saturday Night Live. She was abused as a child. Boy, the things her mother did to her are incredible, and it's crazy because I've read similar stories of some famous people who their mothers did those things to her too, or fathers. I'm not picking on moms, believe me. But her mother was messed up, and she was messed up. Let's be honest. She had mental issues. She talks about mental illness a lot, her own mental illness. She understands that she's not right all the time, and she has issues, and she can be violent, and she could be closed off, and she would run away sometimes. You know, she ran from Ireland to England, then she went to America, and she loved America, but then she didn't like America, and she went, I mean, all over the place. So I guess what I'm trying to say is this book maybe isn't for everybody. If you're a fan of Sinead, you're going to love this book. If you're a fan of autobiographies and things like that, you might not like it because it's not written that way. Again, it's kind of just her telling stories, which is fine. What are the complaints? A lot of name dropping, but geez, I mean, who was it? Somebody said that's the whole reason you write an autobiography, to drop names and tell stories about other people. But she does, but not, you know, yeah, the bad one, Prince. There's some other ones in there, but some funny ones, some fun ones, some very sad ones, of course. Her love for Muhammad Ali and this story with Muhammad Ali and the Special Olympics. Really cool story. Sorry. I just thought it was a fun book. It's an easy read, short. Some people have complained that it because it jumps around. We talked about that. Her memory issues. Some people don't believe some of what she says in here. And again, her not actually being like an author. So it's not a literary novel by any means, but it's very interesting. And again, if you are a fan of Sinead O'Connor, you should read this book. You will love it. If you are not, you won't. It's not for everyone. Yeah, so bear that in mind. I got it because I've always loved Sinead O'Connor from the beginning. Anyways, that's it. Short book, short video for me anyways. I enjoyed it very much, and I'm glad I read it. And as always, if you all find any entertaining value in my videos, please like, please subscribe, and leave me some comments. And until next time, peace out.